Okay, students of mine, we're back. We're doing graph matching part 2. Now this is the complicated part because we've got velocity time graphs going on here. And I say they're complicated, well, you'll kind of see why. Okay, so let's first take a peek at what we're doing here first. As we said, it's a velocity time graph matching. So instead of position on the y-axis, we've got velocity. All right. Notice the velocity starts off at 0. Hey, that's pretty easy. I can just stand there too. And then it jumps up here, 0.5 meters per second, and then 0 and such. Now, what I'm going to do for you is what a common mistake a lot of people do the first few times they're doing this. So I'm going to make these mistakes on purpose, just to try to give you the experience of what it's like to be a student actually doing this. So I'm going to, let's see, get my graph matching set up here. So, and here we are, and good. And then, oh wait, no, hey, no, I said, no. And then people freak out and they're like, oh, I messed up, so let me do it again. Okay, and don't worry about that. Okay, and then, oh, good, no. Okay, no, fair, this is broken. Fair. Okay, I have got people doing all sorts of things because they don't understand what's going on. I see people just jumping ahead and then thinking that they should stay there, right? And then they jump back. And they're like, oh no, the graph isn't working. And then maybe some of this, and then no, we shouldn't be doing any of that stuff. We got to remember that this is a velocity time graph. So right here, the velocity is going to be 0. Then what happens? We jump up to a non-zero velocity, 0.5. But that's 0.5 meters per second. So that means we got to be moving at 0.5 meters per second. This is different from a position time graph where we move back a certain distance and then stayed there. So let's see if we can get the basic idea now. And notice I'm moving and I stop, and then I'm moving forward, and then I stop. Now it's kind of bumpy, so it's not perfect, and I'll do this again, but this is the basic idea. I was not moving, and then I'm moving this entire time, and then I'm not moving, and then I'm moving this entire time, okay? And it doesn't really matter where I start off, as long as I am still within range the whole time. Okay? Then, okay, I'm not going to be able to square these things off. That's just not going to happen. As you saw earlier, the velocity time graphs always looked a lot bumpier than the position time graphs. That's how it is. In fact, I can actually show the position time graphs. That's kind of a cool thing to show. Let's just draw the position, and we'll have to scooch that down a little bit. Okay, so that's what my position time graph looked like. Okay, and actually, how about we show both? Yay, all of the above. Okay, so where I was not moving and then still not moving, and then the velocity when I was moving backwards, and notice that notice I was moving backwards and then not moving. That's where I had stopped moving, and then moving forward and moving back to the motion detector. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one, and and no, I don't want to save that. You know, I'm going to tempt fate. I'm going to do that one more time because it's very important that you understand this. Who knows if it'll be better? It might actually be worse. Oh well, I'm not going to edit it out if it is. Okay, so here we are, not moving, and then we're moving. And then we're not moving, and then we're moving. Okay, I don't think it's necessarily any better, but you can still see what's going on. And just like before, you could show all the above. Same shapes as we saw the first time. So even these little bumpies around here, it's not really going to change the velocity, or excuse me, not going to change the position time graph. The bumpies are a lot more sensitive in the velocity time graph. Okay, and then finally, let's go ahead and go to E. Dun, dun, dun. Kind of the hard one here, or the hardest one, perhaps we should say that. What is going on here? My velocity is increasing. So I start off at 0 meters per second, not just 0 meters, 0 meters per second. And I'm increasing my speed the whole time. Increasing my speed the whole time. Now you say, oh, what about your velocity? Keep in mind, I'm moving backwards. So if you want to have, anyhow. And then what? Do I stop once I get here? No, no, no. I keep moving. This is a velocity at 0.5 meters per second, and then so on. Okay? Okay, so I'm getting faster and faster. It's kind of hard to do here. And then I'm moving forward, and then I stop. I say, oh, fair, that doesn't look very good. Honestly, for this shape, for this graph, that's pretty good. Okay, I'll try it again, just because I do like to work at things, and it's physics. This is pretty fun stuff. So I'm going to try this again. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then sometimes you just get shenanigans going on. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to stop that, and we're going to try that again. And yikes. Okay, and then sometimes it just doesn't get detected at all. So that's an unfortunate situation where I actually was moving. I think you could see me in the camera, but for some reason it just wasn't picking up on my motion anymore. So I'm going to try to redirect it a little better. Okay. Okay, yikes. You know what? I think I'm actually getting worse at this. Come on, Fair. This one's for all the goods. All right, let's see. Going faster, going faster, going faster. Keep the speed, and coming back this way, and then stop. Okay, that's not bad. It might be about as good as the first try, I don't know. But I do want to show you what the position time graph looks like. So one of these all of the above situations. Okay, so what we should have been seeing, and unfortunately it's not very noticeable, this should be curving upwards a little more gradually here. Okay, it should be curving upwards a little more gradually. And then, oh, no, I missed that part of the screen. I can grab one here. There. Okay, so ideally the velocity is increasing here, and this position time graph should be nice and upwardly curving, which you can kind of see it's concave up. And then the velocity here should be relatively straight, and then the velocity, I should have dipped down back a little bit faster, and then no motion here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it again because I just love physics so much. I'm going to actually, it would be easier if I just moved to a different one. And then I move back to E. That way I don't have to reset everything. It resets it itself. Look at that. Yay. Physics. Okay. I'll use this. Hopefully improvement. All right. And whoa. And then stop. Yeah, that's, well, that first part is just pretty tough, but at least I did get a better change right there. Okay, so I should have moved up a little more, but that's what I can do. So as I said, this is a velocity time graph. My velocity is supposed to be increasing up until this point, and then staying nice and constant up through there, and then I'm moving in the other direction. So let's see what this dealy do looks like. Okay, so there is a bit of an upward curve here, but it's not necessarily distinguishable from this part here, but there was a peak, and then I'm moving back in the other direction, and then 0 meters per second. Physics.